Hey guys, so today I'm doing a little drawing of Scylla. So Scylla was a sea monster who lived on the rocks of a narrow water channel opposite of the whirlpool, which was originally a sea monster named Charybdis, and ships got caught between them and often end up being sunk by them. So she was a very frightful sea creature. She had crab-like shells, 6 long necks, and triple rows of teeth on each head, and there were 12 dangling feet from her body. Homer wrote that her voice sounded like the yelping of dogs, and her name was derived from the Greek words that described what she looks like. Skylaros is Greek for hermit crab, Skylax is Greek for dog or dog shark, and Skylo meant to tend or to tear something into pieces. Fun. So Scylla's family. So who her parents were changed depending on which legend you read. So multiple authors such as Homer and Ovid said that Scylla's mother is Keto. So Keto, also known as Creightus, is the goddess. She is the goddess of the dangers of the sea. So some stories told of Keto mating with her brother Phorcys, with whom she had Scylla and her siblings. So one of them was Echnida, a she dragon, and another one was the Graea, which were 3 sisters, Dano, Enyo, and Pemfredo. They shared one eye between all of them. And another one was Ladin, a servant with 100 heads. And lastly were the Gorgons, which were Stheno the mighty, Uriel the far-springer, and Medusa, the queen of the Gorgons, which I'm sure you've heard of before because she's very popular in Greek mythology. So there were some confusion on which mom the Greeks were actually talking about, because some of the scholars thought that Hecate was the actual mother of Scylla, and Apollonius of Rhodes claimed that Creightus is just another name of Hecate. So that's why they were a little confused on which person was actually the mother of Scylla. So where is she from? Not where, but where do we see her in? So you can see her in the story of the Iliad and the Odyssey, which was by Homer. So Circe, the goddess of magic, warned Odysseus to sail closer to Scylla versus sailing closer to Charybdis, which was the whirlpool from before, the little monster thing, and to keep the ship sailing at top speed. But they got distracted by Charybdis, and Scylla was able to snatch and consume 6 sailors on board Odysseus' ship, which was, oof. So Apollonius of Rhodes wrote in his book, The Argonautica. On one side, the sheer cliff of Scylla hove in sight. On the other side, Charybdis seethed and roared incessantly, while beyond, great seas were booming on the wandering rocks. And also, the rock of Scylla, which I think is a cliff, in Calabria, which was a coastal town near the Strait of Messina, is said to be Scylla's home. So her origin story. She's not just some random monster that just wants to kill everyone. She also has an origin story, like all the heroes and villains and everything. So Ovid made an epic poem called Metamorphosis. Metamorphosis, and in it he depicted Scylla as having a sweet, girlish appearance, and was actually once a sweet girl. So he wrote that Scylla was a very beautiful girl and had many guys that were interested in her, but she didn't like any of them, and instead went to the sea nymphs, who liked her greatly, and whom she told all of her boy trouble. And one day afterwards, she went for a walk on the rocks near the water, where she was approached by sea god Glaucus. He thought that she was very beautiful and pursued her, even though she was very afraid of him. So in the story, Glaucus asked Circe for help, but at the same time, Circe was madly in love with him. So she was very angry and decided to use her skill with harmful potions and herbs to make a drug that turned Scylla into a sea monster, which it worked because she is a sea monster now. So, and it is because of Scylla's rage and anger, according to Ovid, the author, that made her gobble up all the Odysseus' men. So that's why in the drawing that I did, she looks very angry and her eyes are red, and she looks distraught because she probably was upset that her life was changed and she didn't want to be a monster. Yeah, because I doubt anyone wants to be. So yeah, but she's still pretty cool. It's so cool, in fact, weird saying cool, but that people over time and over these centuries, that many people made art and stories about her. So she first showed up in ancient Greek art around 450 BC, and she appeared again during the Renaissance, which lasted from the 14th to the 17th centuries AD, and also a little bit after it. And so she was a very popular subject in art and a lot of things because she was just a really cool character with her 6 heads and her long wiggly legs and all. But yeah, she was a very cool character to draw and paint, and people liked doing that. Yeah. So she showed up in the works of Agostino Carracci, Salvatore Rosa, Peter Paul Rubens, and in the paintings done by 2 very popular pre-Raphaelite painters in the 19th century, which were John William Waterhouse and John Mellenhuis-Strudwick. Yep. Okay, and there's even art of her today, which you can find on different renditions that artists had drawn in their own style around the world, looking through some websites like DeviantArt and more. And you can also find her in video games, like a free online game called Smite, and she's one of the gods you can play. And yeah, she's just a really cool character, and I could see why people thought she was epic and wanted to draw or have her in their video game. So yeah, she's really cool, and I hope you guys learned a little bit about her today. So thank you for listening, and have a great day.